Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking, and I have a question for you. Where does inspiration come from? Well, this game set out to answer that question, so strap yourself in for some fun with numbers, and let's give it everything we've got as we journey through the Nonary Game in my review of 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Originally a commercial failure in Japan, released by Chunsoft, now Spike Chunsoft, in 2009, and North America in 2010 on the Nintendo DS, I didn't get around to playing this game until it was updated and ported to Steam and PlayStation 4 as a part of the Zero Escape The Nonary Games bundle along with its sequel. As I mentioned, 999 was originally a commercial failure in Japan, and its success in North America is what led to it getting a sequel, which is honestly surprising for the genre. The Nintendo DS was widely popular amongst younger demos, so it's strange to see an M-rated visual novel slash puzzle slash horror game be so successful. It's definitely deserved though. This game has a great story, great puzzles, and solid characters that is complicated enough to make you think and catch you by surprise, but not enough to feel muddled or messy if you're paying attention. And now, before we get into the story, I want you to meet someone. You see this? This cute little thing is called a Sable. This Sable is unique in that she is attracted to spoilers, so if you want to avoid spoilers, skip any section where she's on screen. Alright, with that out of the way, let's jump on in. The story follows Junpei as he awakens on what appears to be a boat, and he notices that he has a watch stuck to his wrist with the number 5 on it. After escaping the room, he meets the rest of this game's cast. And you know what that means. Just because Pokemon is over doesn't mean the character introductions have to stop. The calm voice of reason that probably hates 21 Pilots' 4th studio album, Ace! The man who is a lot more helpful and cooperative than his name suggests, but just as intelligent, Snake! The punk kid with the bad attitude who loves himself some holly jolly time, Santa! The required cute cinnamon roll character that won't hesitate to hack you up if necessary, Clover! And you think I'm joking? Junpei's childhood friend who just wants everyone to get along, work together, and escape. Like that ever happens in these scenarios? June! The large, soft-spoken, and intelligent mountain of a man. 7! The self-serving seductress who does what she wants, no matter the consequences to others, and the series trendsetter of wearing clothes that are barely clothes, Lotus! And the trigger-happy individual who knows more than he's letting on, who is the Slipknot of this Suicide Squad, the 9th man! In case it isn't made obvious by some of those names, they are all code names. Everyone decides not to give out their actual names, except for Junpei, who has his name exposed by June, thanks, before the codenames are given out. June is actually Akane Kurashiki, a name you should remember because we will be revisiting it quite a lot. Also, I feel like now's a good time to mention that in any game I review in the future that has Japanese names in it, there is a very good chance I horribly mispronounce them, so don't mention it because I know. Regardless, all of the nicknames are based on the numbers on their bracelets. Ace is 1, Snake is 2 for Snake Eyes, Santa is 3 because San is Japanese for 3, Clover is 4 for a 4-leafed clover, June is 6 because June is the 6th month, 7 is 9, I think. Lotus is 8 because a lotus flower has 8 petals, and the 9th man is, I think he was 7, I don't know. Overall, they're a great cast and probably my favorite cast in the series as a whole. Future installments would have better individual characters, but they would also have much worse characters. This one is the most consistent. Now you may be asking yourself, why are these numbered bracelets so important? Well, that's where the Nonary Game comes in, as all explained by their mysterious host, Zero. Zero explains that in order to escape, they have to go through a series of numbered doors in an effort to find the 9 door. And in order to open these doors, they have to use the numbers on their bracelets to find digital routes. And now if you're asking yourself, what the f*** is a digital route? I don't blame you. Let me just show it. Say Junpei, Clover, and 7 want to go into a door. Junpei is 5, Clover is 4, and 7 is 7. So you add their numbers together to get 16. You then take that and split it to get 7. So that trio can open the 7 door. Basically, you continue to add numbers until you get down to 1 digit. Make sense? No? It seems complicated at first, but you quickly get used to it as you play, and most of the time the characters solve it for you. You are provided with a calculator if you need it though. Anyway, back to Zero. He explains that there are bombs in their bracelets that will go off if all the bracelets scanned to enter a room aren't scanned once inside, which is proven when the 9th man forces others to open a door and goes in alone, only to die in the process. This series of scanners are called Reds and Deads. No redemptions though. What follows is a series of escape room challenges and choices you'll have to make on what room you want to go in and what characters you will be with. None of the escape rooms are too hard, but they're definitely fun to solve, especially if you're an escape room fan. And while this game may seem simple and linear at first, it opens up a lot more once you get your first ending. That's right, I said first ending. This game has a total of 6 endings. 7 on iOS for some reason. Shout out to all you mobile gamers. After getting one, you can open up the game's flowchart and choose a section to go back to and make different choices. It kinda sucks that you have to do the same escape rooms multiple times to get certain endings, but it's only a small diversion since you'll have the solution practically memorized after the first run. You may think it ends there, but you would be wrong. In certain instances, it seems like Junpei is remembering information from events in other timelines that in this timeline never happened, and that's where the core of this game lies. The morphic field and morphic resonance. Essentially, the belief that organisms of the same species can unlock the ability to telepathically communicate information to one another, which is a very interesting hypothetical to cover in video games, and it's represented here very well. In order to get the true ending to the game, you have to get an ending called the safe or zero lost ending. The other ones only really matter for extra lore and completion, and feature such fun things like every character being murdered, Junpei being stabbed in the back, Clover asking everyone a question, again you thought I was joking, the locked version of the true ending, and the iOS exclusive where you get the best of both worlds by being killed by Clover and drowned. Fun stuff! Anyway, you have to get the safe ending because Junpei needs information from that timeline so he can use it in the true ending timeline. Oh, hey Sable, what's that? You're gonna be around for a while? How did you know it was time to get into the big spoilers? Throughout the game, you begin to learn more about why you're there and the people behind it all. You learn about Cradle Pharmaceuticals' morphogenic resonance test 9 years prior and how it led to the death of a child. You eventually learn that Ace is actually the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Seven was a detective investigating the original incident, and Santa is Akane's brother, Aoi. Finally, you learn that Akane is the girl that died 9 years ago. She and Santa were a part of the experiment, and when Seven arrived to save all the kids, Ace forced Akane to stay back and solve a puzzle in the incinerator, which she failed to do, and she was killed in the process. Akane is Zero, and this whole second Nonary game was set up by both Santa and Akane so that Junpei would have enough morphic resonance to solve the incinerator puzzle and telepathically send the solution to the young Akane so she doesn't die. The whole game has taken place from the perspective of young Akane, who has seen all the different paths Junpei can go down and has communicated the information to get him the true ending. This turn of events blew my mind when I played it. It's such a complicated idea, time travel and paradoxes always are, but the game conveys the information in such a slow and meticulous manner that instead of throwing you a curveball, it instead weaves together all the hanging threads you've gathered. Overall, 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors is a very niche game that won't appeal to everyone, but if it's in your wheelhouse, you will really enjoy it. The characters aren't all great, but they're all enjoyable in their own way. Plus, the story is interesting enough to keep you going through the admittedly basic gameplay and messy art style. The style may appeal to some, but it never gelled with me. A 6 out of 10. Really wish I could give it a 9. This is your captain speaking, and next time, there is zero escape from the twisted virtues of those under duress. I hope to see you there.